you've been around my channel and my content for the last few years, you'll know one of the mentors I am the most obsessed with is Amanda Frances. Money Mentality Makeover absolutely changed my life. But one of the most underrated courses that she has, one of my favorite courses, one of the things that I probably recommend as often as MMM is Turning Shit into Gold. So today we're going to do a full alumni review. So let's get into today's video. For Turning Shit into Gold, I think one of the things that most people are drawn to when it starts to be time for it to like pop up and Amanda starts talking about it is the idea that you can manifest your partner. That was my initial draw to it. That was my like original, okay, whenever this goes on sale again, because I know she's talked about it in other spaces, I'm going to dive into that. I'm going to make that a part of my personal journey and really just dig into calling that particular person into my life. And initially, that is what I went into it for. But as someone who's had the course for over a year and who's really taken the time to kind of go through it, I think like a lot of her work, it really just allows you to meet yourself where you are at any given time. There's also the benefit that she's going to update it. It's one of those things that it just continues to expand with her own life experiences, with the things that really feel like they fit into it or the things that really feel applicable to kind of what's going on in her life. Every course for the most part continues to get better and better and better. So if you're investing in it now, it's something that you're going to get to continue to learn from because it's going to continue to get Amanda's growth and knowledge, but it's also going to vastly benefit you in every area of your life and not just your like dating and love life. So the time I'm recording this video, there are currently 5 modules within TSIG. The number 1 is alchemy, and this is really the essential of turning into gold. It's essentially taking those elements of the situation that's happening around you and kind of kicks everything off. This was like what inspired TSIG. Then it's love and relationships, business and money, family and children, and boundaries. So there are 5 modules total. You get them week by week, and each week you kind of get to really unpack things. If you've done any of Amanda's other courses, you're going to get the journal prompts, you're going to get the homework, you're going to get the space to really dig into things. But I feel like this is one of those things that maybe you go through everything at once and then you kind of cherry pick what you need at any given time. I've kind of found myself drawing through different bits of it, through different phases, through different like transitions in my own personal life. There's no wrong way to do this. If you buy it just for one module and that's all that you feel drawn to right now because that's the area that really you're working into, that's great. But I definitely feel like there's something that you can get from every area, even if it's not like going into that specific title that you're thinking of. So maybe you dig into the relationship section and it ends up prompting you to do just some own personal healing, and it's not just about love relationships, it's about, you know, friendships and other things that are going on in your life, because that section really kind of digs into the expectations and the healing and the inner child work and the ways in which we're kind of creating the space to be a little bit more energetically clear and really showing up for ourselves. So there are a lot of things that really fall under the umbrella of each section, but they are divided in categories to kind of give you the idea of maybe what you're specifically targeting when you're going into each video. And I've said this before, and I will leave a link to all of my other Amanda reviews in the description box because we have transitioned all of that content into this community. I think if you come into this bubble, sometimes you're really like, okay, what is the difference between any course that is being shared and Money Mentality Makeover? And Money Mentality Makeover is the big beast around money. It covers so much stuff. It really kind of takes you from the beginning of your understanding of manifesting money and the energy of money to wherever Amanda is at any given point in time. I said in my most recent like MMM alumni review, I think that TSIG pairs really beautifully with MMM as kind of a dual healing process. And I say that in a way where there were separate things that I needed to approach to be able to continue to level up with money. Like, it's one thing to kind of focus on money and continually to calling it in, but there were a lot of things in just my own reality, a lot of healing. I think a lot of things that maybe we traditionally get in therapy that TSIG really brought to me. I also really began to kind of play with the idea of energy. And for me, that was a big thing throughout my journey of learning to manifest, of learning to really just understand energy from like a spiritual and maybe scientific kind of like space. I've really begun to understand just like the energy in which we exist in, the way in which, you know, you walk into a room and you feel it. It's all of those things that are really unsaid in the space that you're in. And when I was getting to a point, I'd say like September or October of last year, the thing that I was really kind of being guided to was the idea of energy and the unspoken essence in which you're kind of walking around and the ways in which you're choosing to interact with yourself, but the ways that you're kind of setting those standards throughout your existence and your own personal boundaries. And I think that was the thing that like TSIG really dug in for me. So for me, a lot of the work with doing this particular course has come from healing relationships with myself, healing relationships with those around me, continuing to set boundaries, change boundaries, understand what I'm willing to accept and what is like my minimum for it. And I think that's an ever-growing process because we're continuing to heal, we're continuing to learn, we're continuing to call that in. And I hope that, you know, so much of the foundation that I've built will put me in this drastically wild place that I could have only dreamed of in a year from now. But I have that foundation to do the work. I have this safe space to do the work, and it kind of allows me to do the work in my own time and in my own way. I honestly feel like the other part of this is just, it allows you to focus on the other healing aspect that you really need to feel more safe in yourself to be able to call in more money. I think for me, one of the things that I've learned in a lot of the process over the last few years is that so much of this is about continually being able to hear your own voice, to validate your own voice, and to give yourself the space to grow and to move forward and to have as big of an impact as you want, but to freely move forward on this path that is probably going to be, I don't want to say radically different, but it's going to be almost quietly different. Like you're going to be doing it in a way where you're looking around you and it doesn't necessarily feel like anybody gets it near you. And you kind of have to do it in a way where you're either finding friends online or you're continuing to self-solidify that, like, you know, what you're doing is right. You're really turning up the voice on your own inner voice and just letting those people exist around you. It's not a bad thing. I think that's a part of this journey, especially the more you kind of get into manifesting. There's a lot of noise and a lot of voices and a lot of people's opinions, and there's definitely a part of the journey where you have to really be able to kind of lean into your own space, because in my experience, when you're really diving into this and it's so new, it's like anything else, but it's a big belief shift, and that can be a bit of like a shaky ground for those around you. So something that I feel like TSIG really brings to the table is really helping you solidify just that own internal trust with yourself and continuing to build that, which is something that you need as you grow and call in bigger things and want to live at a different level. But I think the first step for a lot of this for us in healing and for calling in new things in our life is really understanding and cultivating that like inner voice that we have, the thing that we've probably hushed a bit more, and doing this particular course has helped kind of bring that out for me a little bit more, as well as creating content on this channel. I really try to share what I'm learning because I think sometimes we just need to hear the words a little bit differently. So I would love it if you would subscribe and join us. But I do feel like for me, this has been that, like, it's the space that I come back to for healing and understanding and growing within myself, and not necessarily calling anything in. Sometimes it works like that, but more than anything, for me, it's about continuing to tweak and to make things feel better and higher and different, and just on that level of, you read that beautiful book and you feel that story and you experience that story and you want it to become your life. It's kind of helped me step out of the space of where I need to hide in somebody else's and feel empowered enough to really start to tweak and change and to call all of those tiny details into my. Now, I will leave the link to sign up if you want to in the description box below, because one of the things with this particular course that it's available year round. There's not like a specific enrollment window. So you want to sign up for it now when it's maybe on sale, you're going to get it at a discount. But if you see this video in like 2 months and you are really intrigued by it and you feel really drawn to it, you can still get into the course. So I will leave that in the description box for you to check out. Last few details. I think one of the most beneficial things you get when you sign up for an AF course is a lot of times there's a Facebook group, and that in and of itself is really powerful because you're stepping into a space with other women, other humans, other people that are wanting to choose and grow and are also probably aligned with you in a lot of ways. The humans that you spend time around are going to impact your mindset. They're also going to give you the ability to just feel a little bit safer in the process. And when you have questions and you want to grow, or you maybe just are overthinking it, they're there for you. And because it's somebody who's purchased and is choosing to kind of come into this space and is already stepping into it believing, it's not like when you join a really massive Facebook group and then maybe post something and people are, you know, going to be kind of harping on it, or they're like not as kind or don't understand your intentions around it. I'm specifically thinking about the Peloton Facebook group. But I know we've all been there. I think one of the biggest things that you get within these groups is that the humans who are showing up into them are already wanting to do the work. They're showing up with the intentions. So whether or not you choose to do everything now, you only choose to do one module now, you have access to those humans or that particular group for as long as Facebook continues to be a thing for us. You'll get that initial, like, everybody's in there, but then you'll continue to get people who pop in and ask questions. And I have to say, I'm in several of the Facebook groups, the different courses that I've done, and everyone is truly so kind and so supportive and just wants the best for it. Because I think people show up to these spaces understanding the inner work that it takes and the journey that you're going to go on. And it's so powerful just in that self to be exposed to people who have that mindset. So one of my favorite things about being in like the MMM group is when the women come in and they've had their first $1 million, $10 million, these months that, like, you know, are possible, but maybe in your everyday circle aren't conversations you're having, or people are working on a really specific part of their healing journey and they're tweaking and working on certain bits, and you kind of get to bring all of the different things to the table to have the conversation. It's one of my absolute favorite things about the course that kind of enhances everything, because you're getting that sense of community and you're getting those people that allow you to just kind of push forward, but also to feel even more supported in your journey. And of course, we love lifetime access. It's amazing that you continue to get content as it comes out. You continue to get to be a part of the conversation. So whenever those new modules come out, sometimes it's a live stream and you're actually kind of getting to jump in and have those conversations. I'm always learning from whatever content's being put out, even if it's been said other weeks before, or it's just reaching a different part of me now. It's something that you kind of take with you and you continue to grow, and there's something that's going to resonate a little bit differently with you 3 months from now than it might resonate with you 3 weeks from now. So it grows with you, which is amazing, because you're investing in something that's not like a short window of access. You're investing in something for yourself now, but also for the version of you 5 years from now who's continuing to grow. It's lastly something I don't think we talk about enough, but I'm going to put out there because I feel like it's something that we all benefit from, is the fact that you can join as an affiliate of Amanda. Now, I have been an affiliate probably since I had that first like relaunch of MMM, and it was one of the things that I was like, I did this course, I loved it, I'm going to share it. I share it with the same intentions that I think a lot of people in this community do, and the fact that I found it really powerful. I found it really helpful. I found that it really impacted my life, but I also know somebody who's done a lot of courses. There's a really specific intention that you need to kind of show up in these spaces to honestly get that impact, to get what you want from it, to get what you need from it. So if you're signing up or you're unsure, or if it just doesn't feel right in a way that, like, not in a sense of like it's a big leap of faith, but if you're signing up and you just are really kind of already negative about it, you know that it's not going to be a good vibe. But if you're somebody who's taken a course, you take this course, you like it, maybe you share it with one friend, maybe you share it with 2 friends, maybe you just share it in your everyday life, but you still have the ability to share something that you love in the same way that maybe you see some of your favorite influencers sharing. I will leave the information in the description box below. I will double check on where you email to become an affiliate. I don't exactly remember the process, but I think if you have enjoyed her courses, if you end up enjoying this course, if you kind of go along this journey and think, hey, this has really impacted me and I want to share it with somebody else, why not be able to share a link that also supports you? All right, guys, that is all I have for you today. So let me know in the comments below if you have any specific questions about Touch Into Gold. I will happily answer them down below, as well as I will leave links to anything and everything I feel like is a really helpful place to start if you're new to the Amanda bubble. I also specifically upload more healing, just kind of intentional content in this space. The goal of this particular channel is to give us a space to have conversations about growth, but to also show you the part of the process that I'm in, creating a sense of community where we're learning and growing together, and it's not just me chatting at you, it's me having a conversation with you. So I would love it if you subscribe. I also, TSIG is currently on sale, but if you are looking to sign up maybe after the window has happened, it is still available. So all of the links for that will be in the description box below as well. But I love you. It is a good day to have a good day, and I hope you all have a beautiful day wherever you are. Bye, guys.